let's go. What's this up here? I don't know. Spare some old scraps of food for a story. Young paps, spare some food for an old coyote. One who will eat anything you want. I've a stomach of steel, my boys.
Gee, mister, we didn't see you there.
Not many do. I usually don't wish to be seen. And when I do, many don't wish to see me. I'm hungry, boys. I have nothing to offer you, but a simple story.
Mother and father tell me stories every night.
Not a story like this one, my boy. Not a story like this. One that will save you from the cliff's edge, from trotting into the sinking mud, from being stained in the mire.
We already know how to avoid those.
Shh, look at him. He can barely move, and his eyes are all white. He's probably almost blind.
Mister, we've got a rabbit skin. It's still pretty fresh from yesterday. We have it hidden under a rock over there. Nick, go fetch it.
All right. Yes, rabbit skin for a story. Bring it here, my boy. Bring it here, my story will not fail.
Here it is.
Yes, smells fresh, delicious. Still some red on the inside. Yes, but story first, my boys, and then I eat. I've waited 5 days for food. What are a few more minutes? It all began many years ago. There was a young coyote named Jackson.
Father, I caught another rabbit, all on my own.
Excellent, son, but slow down and drop the prey from your mouth. Good, now tell me how you caught him.
I waited for him behind a big rock. I didn't even dare to look at him. I just heard him pattering along and saw the faint cloud of dust scattering through the air. I set up some pebbles that would rattle as soon as any beast touched them on the other side of the boulder. When I heard them clatter, I sprang. The rabbit froze under my growing shadow, his ears back, and when he finally darted, I had my maw ready to snap him up right over his back. One shake and he hung limp.
Lorraine, honey, look what your son caught, all on his own.
No, he caught a rabbit, all by himself. You helped him, didn't you, Hank?
Nope, he did it all by himself. He's as clever as he is strong.
And handsome. Son, you're going to make the best alpha one day.
You are, son. I couldn't be prouder. And you'll represent us well at the Alpha Games next month. You'll bring honor and respect to our pack. Young Jackson beamed with pride. He really was a great coyote, and his future seemed all sunlight. But Jackson had a dark secret. Every morning, or as often as he could, he snuck off to a forbidden place.
What are you doing here again, Jackson? I thought I told you to take a break. I can't stop myself, Puff Puff. I have to see you. You're all I think about. Oh, Jackson, you know I told you Farmer Jenkins is catching on. He's been looking out his window more often, coming out onto the porch with his gun, scanning the dog pen. You can't keep this up. I don't want you to get hurt. Puff Puff, if only this accursed fence wasn't here, you could run off with me this instant. Have you ever stalked a vole or a prairie dog? Have you ever run free through miles of brush, or splashed across a creek on a dry summer day? You know it can't be, Jackson. I wouldn't survive a day out there, just like you wouldn't last a day in here, locked up in this pen. Even if Farmer Jenkins didn't shoot you, we're just too different, Jackson. I think we should just give it up. But I love you because you're different, Puff Puff. I love your fur, whiter than bleached bones. I love how it puffs out like clouds around your ankles, head and tail. I love that you eat kibble daintily, each one, and don't have dried blood and dirt crusted in the fur around your lips. I love your deep bark, your steady, confident gaze, and that you aren't always nervous, ready to pounce or flee. Well, you're not too bad yourself, Jackson. You're pretty handsome for a scrapper, and you could certainly take care of me if I was willing to eat rodents and trash. Rabbits are very tasty. You'd never go back to kibble. What's that? It's Farmer Jenkins. Hurry, run. Wait. Touch noses. No. Okay, fine. Now go.
That bullet missed, but every day thereafter, whenever Jackson went to see the forbidden poodle, Farmer Jenkins was ready on the porch, gun in hand. Puff Puff would only shake her head, the fur by the corners of her eyes, a little dark, wet, and matted. Eventually, Jackson stopped visiting the farm, but his heart stayed there, always waiting on the other side of that fence.
Hadn't you better get out and practice, Jackson? The Alpha Games are tomorrow. I know how proud your father is of you. You're going to perform very well. I don't know, Mom. I just feel like staying in the den. That's what you said yesterday, and the day before that, too. Jackson, what's wrong with you? Your father is coming home tonight. I'm sure he's been boasting about you to the council. How do you think he'll feel when he comes home and finds you haven't been doing anything? I just don't feel like hunting. I'm not even hungry, Mom. Oh, listen, you hear? Your father's home. I'll go out and try to talk to him. I suggest you get up and start moving.
Darling, darling, oh, how good to touch snouts with you again.
You look like all sunshine, Hank. Did the council go well? How are the other packs?
Oh, they're well, very well indeed. Swiftclaw and Brownfur have resolved their feud. They even did a beta exchange to show they're really earnest. But truly, all eyes and thoughts are on the Alpha Games. We're going to have quite a turnout this year, I think.
But the Clumptail pack has an upcoming Alpha, Lone Paw, a fine young coyote by all accounts.
But I think our Jackson is still the coyote to beat. With the way he hunts, runs, jumps, and his heart, it's his competition to lose. Why, here he is now. Hello, son.
Goodbye, Father. I'm afraid he hasn't improved. He still lies around in the dark den all day. Sometimes, in the morning, he comes out and sits on the hill and looks at the horizon.
Any clue as to what it's about?
I don't know, Hank. He seems perfectly healthy, just weak, listless. I have heard... Well, it's probably nothing.
What? What have you heard?
I've heard him muttering words that rhyme. I don't know, maybe some sort of poem.
What were they? Do you remember?
They were hard to make out because he just mutters them so softly, and only when he thinks I am far enough away not to hear. But I've tried my best to listen. They were something like this. Something, something, love can never be, and so there is no happiness for me. Living another day is futile without my dear and darling something. No, the world is not enough without my perfect, precious something. I don't know. It's an enigma.
That it is, my dear, that it is.
I told him to hunt, but there he is, lying on the hill, just gazing off into the sunset. Maybe you'd better have a talk with him.
You're right. I'll go. Jackson? Jackson?
Father.
What's on your mind, son? What are you thinking about?
Nothing.
Tell me, son. Tell me, please.
Just looking at those clouds over there, the puffy ones. See how the white puffs turn orange in the setting sun? It's so beautiful, isn't it? Sort of reminds me of... Never mind.
Son, something is eating you on the inside, gnawing away. If you don't let us know anything, we can't help you. Your mother and I, we care about you very much. We just want the best for you. We're excited about you becoming the alpha you were born to be.
Yeah.
You know the Alpha Games are tomorrow, son. It's not just a silly race to show off, to boast. The respect the winner earns echoes farther along, all the way to the council. It bolsters up the pack, guarantees safety. Nobody dares attack a pack with the winner of the Alpha Games. Your mother and I care about you, as I said, but also about our pups.
And all our betas. You winning this tournament will show the other packs that we should be admired and treated well for generations to come. And you'll have your choice of alpha females. No female will say no to the winner of the Alpha Games. Wanda from Pack Bentleg is quite the catch. I'd be happy to see my son marry her. Strong and intelligent and beautiful.
Beautiful? Beautiful, really? She wallows in her own filth. She eats dead animals and snarls. She growls and howls.
We all do, son. We all do. That's the Coyote way. That's how your mother is, and how your grandmother was, and how your wife will be, and your daughters and granddaughters.
Maybe. But maybe it doesn't have to be that way.
Son.
Leave me alone.
The next day, all the coyotes from all the packs within the Great Valley converged on the field of play. There were singing coyotes, dancing coyotes, coyotes acting out the great stories of coyote past. There were sellers of furs and meats, prairie dog, rabbit, squirrel, vole, mice and rats. But most important, all eyes were on the young males preparing themselves for the alpha race.
It's almost time! Athletes, contestants, gather yourselves together. The alpha race is soon to begin. Competitors, you are all sons of alphas, trained to become alphas, knowledgeable in the hunt, in leadership, in battle with wolf or bear, or other coyote. As you know, this race is the main event of the Alpha Games, the determinant of the winner of the games. It is a race that requires strength and skill to complete, and sheer alphaness to win. Contestants, you 15 young coyotes, all in the prime of health and vigor, are to leave the field, sprinting far away, 7 miles, until you reach the famous jutting rock, Clawtoe, whereunder you will find the rabbit fur marked with your pack's paw print. Grab your pack's fur, and only that fur, then make your way back to this finish line, which you must reach before sundown. On your way, keep your eye out for prey. The coyote who catches the most wild rabbits on the journey, who has the most dangling from his jaw at the finish line, wins the race, and proves his complete and undeniable alphaness.
Jackson lined up with the 14 others. Lone Paw, his main competition, boasted.
It's a good day to follow a clump turtle, eh, Jackson?
Are there any good days anymore?
Come on, son, he's just having a good banter with you. I've got to tease you now, Jackson, because on my way back my mouth will be too full of rabbit. Come on, son, cheer up. You'll forget everything once you get going. you'll be in full hunt mode, just like in our father-son alpha training. Look, they're about to howl to begin.
Line up, boys. I want a good, clean race. If we see any fighting among you, you'll be disqualified. May the most alpha coyote win. Ready, set.
Go, Jackson, go!
Yes, go, Jackson.
He seems to be moving pretty fast. I think everything will be all right, honey.
I hope so.
They watched until the last racer turned a bend in the valley, which took them out of sight. Then the feasting began, and all waited eagerly for sunset, when the alpha racers would return.
The first coyotes return! Bilbad and Flatear, each with no rabbits.
Oh, how could they bear to return without any rabbits?
I don't know, honey. Those who carry no rabbits carry shame instead.
Here are a couple more, Hank. I don't think either are Jackson.
Not enough rabbits hanging out of their mouths to be Jackson, honey.
Incoming coyote, Whitetooth with 1 rabbit. He is followed by Orange Tail, also with 1 rabbit. Having finished first, Whitetooth is currently in the lead.
As the sun continued to sink, several more coyotes returned, carrying 1 or 2 rabbits each. One coyote, Spikenose, hobbled in with a bloody snout and a deep cut in his back left paw, but he carried 3 rabbits, swaying from his maw.
Only Jackson and Longpaw are out there now. I'm getting nervous, Hank. The sun is so low.
Jackson knows what he's about. He knows exactly how fast he can trot.
He's probably just slowed down by the great number of rabbits he carries. It's hard to see in this light. Do you see that? It looks like a dark spot, moving.
The sun is almost down.
Someone is coming. Look, Lorraine. I think it may be Jackson. Look at the clump of rabbits hanging from his mouth.
Is it? Could it be him? Oh, my son!
Racer Lone Paw returns.
Lone Paw?
Carrying 5 rabbits.
Lone Paw? But where's Jackson? Where's my son? Is he all right?
Lone Paw. Lone Paw. Lone Paw, is Jackson still out there? I haven't seen him since the beginning of the race, after we made him first turn. Jackson.
What?
Stay here. I'm going home.
Hank, no. Don't go. I'll go with you.
No. Stay here. Jackson's father sprinted to the den, then snuck up slowly, using all his alpha hunting techniques to approach unheard and unseen. His son was lying in the den, muttering to something in front of him on the floor.
The fence divides our love in twain, and so I'll never smile again. Our forbidden love can never be, nor can exist, both you and me, nor can your distant love impart a cure to heal my broken heart.
What are you doing, son?
Father?
Aha! No, you don't. I want to see what you're talking to, son. What's this?
No, Father.
What's this? 6 white rocks connected with sticks? Is this the thing that breaks your heart? Is this the thing that melts your courage to a puddle? That turns you into a quivering mass of self-pity? This looks like a dog. A soft paw, and not just a dog, a poodle.
No, Father. No, Father, I love her. Oh, leave her be.
You disgusting worm, you mouse, you vole, you trembling rabbit. You have betrayed your brothers and sisters, everyone in our pack.
You lifted your leg upon our name, the name carried proudly by our ancestors, up until it reached you. Well, this shame will go no further. You will not be Alpha. You disgust me, son. Get out! Get out!
Jackson ran then, ashamed, heartbroken, tears streaming from his eyes. He ran wildly in the dark, uncaring about predator or prey. He knew where he needed to go. He didn't care about Farmer Jenkins now. Let him come. He would see Puff Puff again.
Puff Puff! Puff Puff! It's me, Jackson. It's me, Jackson. Come out, Puff Puff. Jackson, I thought I told you to never come back. You know you're in great danger here. I don't care, Puff Puff. I don't care if I live or die. Only let me see you. Look at you. Now, your puffy fur gleaming under the soft moonlight. To me, each puff is a new moon, emitting a soft glow of love. Puff, puff. My night sky is darkness without you. But with you, I see again. I know I have a reason to live, a will to exist. Jackson, I told you. We both know it can never work. I'm here behind this fence, and you are wild and free outside of it. This fence, and nothing will stop my love. I feel as though I could bite through it. I could dig through solid rock beneath it. I could leap over it, though it be as tall as a tree. We will be together, Puff Puff.
What's this? Who is that, Puff Puff?
Who is this, Puff Puff? Who is this, standing tall beside you? When he leans on you, why do you not move away, Puff Puff? I didn't want to have to tell you, Jackson. They brought me a mate. I'm going to have puppies, Jackson. I'm going to be a mother. This is Arnold, their father. Jackson, I love him.
Well, is it that darn coyote back again? Grab my gun, honey.
Let's get out of here, honey. I don't want you or the little ones inside you at risk from Farmer Jenkins's bad aim.
Go, Jackson. Live your life. Be free.
I'll never be free.
Jackson got shot?
Yes. He was shot in the hindquarters. Went through both back legs at the joints. Broke them both in half.
Did he die?
No, he bled quite a bit. He probably should have died. He didn't even hear a sob or cry in concern from Puff Puff.
What did he do?
He dragged himself away, paw over paw, miles across the dirt and rocks and sand, until he reached his den. The spell of love for Puff Puff had broken by then, and his old alpha spirit took over. He was determined to apologize and to make things right. His mother wept for joy and sorrow, and his father took him back with tears, but his legs never healed. And when, due to his poor performance at the Alpha Games, another hungry pack attacked their den, all he could do was watch and howl as his father and mother were torn up in front of him, and all the puppies and betas were carried off to another den.
Gee, mister, I feel sorry for him. Is he dead now?
No, he's still alive. If you can call it that. He drags himself from spot to spot, begging for food. He lives on other coyotes' pity. but he feels it's his duty, his burden, to carry his shame, to show the world what becomes of such obsession.
Do you think he's still in love with Puff Puff?
I think his heart still hurts when he remembers that night. When he saw Arnold standing beside his Puff Puff. But mostly he's ashamed of what he's done and how it affected his family. And even though he's a cripple now and can barely crawl along, as long as he's doing what's right, he feels like he's finally free. Run along now, kids. You've heard my story. Now let me enjoy this rabbit skin.
Thanks, mister. Yeah, thanks, sir.
Puff, puff.